Now we're wrapping up. We had weather problems, blizzard here in Florida.
Came right through. He just blew right in.
We had a rain delay. Now we're back. Eddie's back.
Eddie's back.
We're actually filming under a different format. We're going to see how this goes, and maybe this could be something.
It could work.
It
might work. I don't know how it's going to be. I don't know how it'll sound either.
We were talking about the World Series, the Indians.
Yep.
We were talking about the Cubs. We were talking about the weather. We were talking about, I was about to get into, back to, and I hate to harp, but it's just my only experience of being in a World Series, and it just happened to be cold like it's going to be here. And I remember I opened up talking about the drop in weather between Game 2 to Game 3 when we went to Cleveland.
Right.
And that game, coincidentally enough, Game 3, finished 14-11. 7-7 top of the ninth. The Marlins scored 7. The Indians came back with 4 in the bottom. And I remember Bobby Bonilla sitting there talking about what a terrible game it was. And his quote, Eddie, was, "They don't call us the boys of summer for nothing."
Yeah, I can imagine that he did not like playing in that weather. You know, I don't think anybody really likes playing in that cold weather, playing baseball. But, you know, I guess that's one of the things when you expand the season, expand the playoffs. What are you going to do? You're gonna cut regular season games?
Or eliminate Cleveland and Chicago from being in it?
Well, I don't think that's what quite fair.
Then,
we didn't have this problem for a number of years, but you know,
played the Yankees.
The Yankees play in cold weather.
Yeah, I mean it's
unless you make everybody north of the temperate zone build an indoor stadium.
Minnesota did it, and look, they've gotten into a few World Series because of it.
Yeah, well, it definitely, you know, I think helps your fan base. But if you're fans in Cleveland and you're fans in Chicago, it doesn't matter if it's -2 and snowing. You're going to be at the ballpark. And even if they call the game, you're still going to be there at the ballpark. So you say, I went to the game even though it got called. I don't care if there's 1.5 feet of snow. I'm showing up.
You know what's amazing to me was in the post-game show, which you talked about before with Rodriguez and Thomas and Rose, was all the people in Chicago who were there. And all I could think about was on NBC when the Olympics were this summer, and they'd have, like, who was the host of their wrap-up show, and there'd be 20 people in Brazil. But all the people in Chicago that are just rabid for this. And did you hear what they're going to do? They put a petition out for Cleveland. They want Joe Buck out of the booth and bring Bob Uecker in to do the Cleveland games. And they're doing a petition. Harry Doyle, man, you got to have him. And
it's never going to happen.
It's not going to happen, no. But they're
not going to use Andrew Miller to close out games. They're going to have Ricky Vaughn.
Ricky Vaughn. California Penal League.
And Joe Boo. It's exciting to see two teams that haven't been there in forever.
And the little 12-year-old kid starting Game 1 for the Cubs.
For the Cubbies, yeah. I mean, they made movies about this because it was so unlikely to ever have happened. As people were like, that's never going to happen when the Cubs and the Indians are playing each other. And now, you know,
it's happening.
And the travel time between the two places is cut down, so that's got to be great if you're production people.
Both Central Time Zone. I mean, they're both Midwest teams.
It won't be too late. The game start. I mean,
the game's going to start no matter.
You got to think Fox is excited. I mean, to have this series. I mean, there's going to be a lot of people.
Yeah. Is it going to be on regular Fox?
Regular Fox.
Or is it going to be on the Fox Sports?
I checked the other
night. Not on the Food Network?
Not on the Food Network. Not on the Shopping Channel. It's going to be on regular Fox.
Well, that's good. And at least they're moving up.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I would prefer having Joe Buck out of there, truthfully.
I do too.
And especially, I'd really prefer a whole different set of in-game color commentators.
You don't like Smoltz?
No, I don't. I love Smoltz as a player, but I don't like him as a commentator.
Yeah, I like him. I think he's okay.
You know, we're talking World Series. I won't go there. We'll go next week. And remember, we got to talk about A-Rod because I'm impressed with A-Rod.
He's very good.
In the studio,
I think so.
Interviewing.
He asks good questions. I know we're talking
World Series,
but he's good. But next time we can talk about that next week.
And the World Series guys, you know, just think about that. Just think about what all has happened since the Cubs have been in the World Series. You know, you saw the stuff that was on ESPN as reported. That's true. There was no other leagues, no other professional leagues at the time.
There were no black players.
There was no black players. There were no sliced bread hadn't been invented yet.
There were no guys.
Milk still came in glass containers delivered to your door by the milkman. So,
and people didn't sit around in Gainesville, Florida, talk about the game on some little. And when the one camera breaks down, you got to back up right there.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. to think about that, you know, of all those things that have happened all those years and all of the generations of Cub fans especially who have lived and died waiting to see the Cubs be in the World Series. So it's got to be special for them.
And we'll talk back, and we'll talk about some people, and I guess who we'll start talking about is you talk about those generation of Cubs fans and how special it is. Well, Theo Epstein also brought a World Series championship to another generation
Of Boston
fans. And that in itself is just worth talking about, his impact and what he needs.
Are we going to get to any of the baseball players in the next segment?
Yes, we will.
All right.
That's what people write in. So
Let's get there. We'll get to those questions in just a minute. You get a chance tomorrow night, watch baseball, World Series. What else is on Tuesday night? And then we'll see where it goes from there.
Play ball.
Okay.
It's going to be because one person wrote in about Francona. You know, how he was the manager when the Red Sox won. Now